Love him or hate him, Donald Trump is one of the most polarizing figures of our time. From his rise as a billionaire mogul to his tumultuous presidency, his story is filled with ambition, controversy, and intrigue. Buckle up as we take you on a journey through the life, achievements, and enduring legacy of Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump's story begins in Queens, New York, where he was born on June 14, 1946, to Fred and Mary Trump. The Trumps were a close-knit family with strong values centered around hard work, discipline, and ambition. Fred Trump, a savvy and successful real estate developer, became Donald's first role model, instilling in him a competitive spirit and an unshakable belief in his ability to achieve greatness. Fred Trump was known for building affordable housing for middle-class families in Brooklyn and Queens. His entrepreneurial acumen and work ethic left an indelible mark on young Donald. While Fred focused on practical, cost-effective developments, Donald dreamed of grandeur, luxury, and prominence, traits that would define his future ventures. The Trump family's wealth also had roots in Friedrich Trump, Donald's grandfather, who emigrated from Germany and found fortune in the United States through various entrepreneurial endeavors. As a child, Donald displayed a strong-willed and assertive personality. His energy was often seen as both a strength and a challenge. Recognizing this, his parents decided to send him to the New York Military Academy at the age of 13. The military academy environment proved transformative. Donald thrived in the structured, disciplined setting where he excelled academically, athletically, and socially. Leadership roles at the academy further honed his natural charisma and determination. The experience also taught him the value of resilience, teamwork, and discipline, traits that would underpin his success in later years. After completing high school, Donald pursued higher education at Fordham University before transferring to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the most prestigious business schools in the country. Graduating in 1968 with a degree in economics, Donald returned to New York City with a clear goal: to make a name for himself in the world of real estate. Joining his father's company, Elizabeth Trump & Son, Donald quickly made his mark by identifying opportunities for growth and expansion. While Fred Trump focused on projects in Brooklyn and Queens, Donald set his sights on Manhattan. He saw potential in the bustling heart of New York City, a place where luxury and opulence could thrive. His first major project involved renovating the troubled Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt, a luxurious landmark that would establish his reputation as a bold and innovative developer. The 1970s were a time of learning, risk-taking, and transformation for Donald. He demonstrated a knack for negotiation, often securing deals that others deemed impossible. His charisma and confidence helped him navigate the complexities of New York's real estate landscape. By the end of the decade, Donald Trump was no longer just Fred Trump's son. He was a rising star in his own right, poised to reshape Manhattan's skyline and redefine the standards of luxury living. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, Donald Trump's ambitions began to materialize on a grand scale. His move to Manhattan marked a pivotal shift in his career, where he aimed to leave an indelible mark on the city's skyline. Unlike his father, who focused on middle-income housing, Donald envisioned a future filled with glitzy skyscrapers, opulent hotels, and high-end luxury. One of Donald's earliest and most transformative projects was the redevelopment of the Commodore Hotel. The property, located near Grand Central Terminal, was in a state of disrepair and losing money. Undeterred, Donald saw its potential. Partnering with the Hyatt Corporation, he negotiated a complex deal that involved tax abatements and financing. The result was the Grand Hyatt, a gleaming symbol of modern luxury that opened in 1980. Its success catapulted Trump into the spotlight as a daring and innovative developer. Trump Tower, completed in 1983, became the crown jewel of Donald's empire. Located on Fifth Avenue, this 58-story skyscraper featured a glass facade, an impressive atrium with a cascading waterfall, and high-end retail spaces. Trump Tower was not just a building. It was a statement of power, wealth, and ambition. Its luxurious apartments and prime location attracted celebrities, business magnates, and dignitaries. The tower became a landmark and solidified Trump's reputation as the ultimate dealmaker. Throughout the 1980s, Trump expanded his empire, acquiring properties such as the Plaza Hotel and launching ventures in Atlantic City. His casinos, including the Trump Taj Mahal, were among the most extravagant in the world. However, this period of rapid expansion came with significant challenges. The 1990s brought economic downturns and financial struggles. Trump faced several bankruptcies and mounting debts, but his resilience and ability to reinvent himself kept him afloat. During this time, Donald also began to establish his personal brand. He understood the power of media and crafted an image of success, luxury, and charisma. The Trump name became synonymous with high-end living, and Donald himself became a cultural icon. His 1987 book, The Art of the Deal, offered insights into his business strategies and philosophy, becoming a bestseller and cementing his status as a thought leader in the world of business. By the late 1990s, Donald had diversified his ventures, licensing his name to various products and services, including Trump Steaks, Trump Vodka, and Trump-branded golf courses. Despite setbacks, his ability to recover and adapt showcases tenacity and entrepreneurial spirit. In 2004, Donald Trump entered a new phase of his career with the launch of the reality television show The Apprentice. This venture marked his transition from real estate mogul to a pop culture phenomenon. The show's premise revolved around aspiring entrepreneurs competing for the chance to work with Trump, undergoing various business challenges to prove their mettle. The Apprentice was an instant hit. Trump's larger-than-life persona, coupled with his no-nonsense leadership style, captivated audiences. His iconic catchphrase, "You're fired," became a cultural touchstone, further embedding him in the public consciousness. Each week, millions tuned in to watch Trump preside over high-stakes boardroom decisions, offering a mix of drama, strategy, and entertainment. The show not only boosted Trump's visibility, but also amplified his brand. It portrayed him as a decisive and successful leader, a man with an eye for talent and a knack for making tough decisions. The Apprentice resonated with viewers who admired Trump's charisma, work ethic, and unapologetic confidence. Beyond the show, Trump used his newfound fame to expand his business ventures. He launched spin-offs such as The Celebrity Apprentice, which featured celebrities competing for charity, further broadening his appeal. Trump's ability to connect with audiences and maintain his relevance in an ever-changing media landscape demonstrated his adaptability and strategic thinking. The success of The Apprentice also planted the seeds for Trump's eventual entry into politics. It showcased his ability to command attention, articulate his vision, and connect with everyday Americans. The skills he honed on television would later prove invaluable on the campaign trail. Donald Trump's interest in politics predated his presidency by decades. As early as the 1980s, he voiced opinions on America's economic policies, trade deficits, and global standing. He frequently appeared on talk shows, where he criticized politicians for their inability to negotiate better deals for the United States. In 2011, Trump gained national attention for his involvement in the birther movement, a controversial effort questioning President Barack Obama's citizenship. While this stance drew widespread criticism, it also resonated with a segment of the population that felt disconnected from mainstream politics. Trump's willingness to voice contentious opinions set him apart from traditional politicians and solidified his reputation as an outsider. By 2015, Trump had built a loyal following of supporters who admired his unfiltered rhetoric and willingness to challenge the status quo. His political commentary, combined with his media savvy, made him a formidable figure in American politics. Donald Trump's foray into politics began not with a grand announcement, but with a series of calculated moves and public statements that hinted at a larger ambition. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Trump was an outspoken critic of America's economic policies. He often appeared on television programs, such as Larry King Live and The Oprah Winfrey Show, discussing trade imbalances, foreign policy, and what he perceived as a decline in American greatness. His views were bold and polarizing, much like the man himself. One of Trump's key messages was the idea that America was being ripped off by foreign nations, particularly in trade deals. This narrative resonated with many Americans who felt the effects of globalization and declining industries in the heartland. Trump positioned himself as a champion of the working class, despite his wealthy background, by voicing frustrations that mirrored theirs. Trump's first serious brush with politics came in the year 2000 when he briefly campaigned for the Reform Party nomination for president. Though short-lived, this endeavor showcased his ability to captivate audiences and articulate a populist message. He spoke about issues like healthcare, trade, and immigration, topics that would later become central to his presidential platform. While this campaign fizzled out, it served as a testing ground for his political instincts. The turning point came in 2011, when Trump became a leading figure in the birther movement, questioning President Barack Obama's citizenship. While many viewed this as a conspiracy theory, it brought Trump unprecedented attention in political circles. He gained a following among voters who were disillusioned with traditional politicians and drawn to his blunt, no-nonsense approach. Critics labeled him divisive, but Trump thrived on the controversy, using it to amplify his voice on a national stage. By the time Trump descended the golden escalator of Trump Tower in June 2015 to announce his candidacy for president, he had already built a loyal base. His speech, where he famously declared that Mexico was not sending their best, set the tone for a campaign unlike any other. It was provocative, unapologetic, and deeply resonant with a segment of the electorate that felt left behind by globalization and political elitism. The announcement marked the beginning of a seismic shift in American politics. Trump's ability to dominate media coverage and energize crowds was unparalleled. He framed himself as an outsider, a businessman who could fix the system because he was not beholden to it. This message, combined with his celebrity status and mastery of social media, gave him a unique edge in a crowded Republican field. Donald J. Trump's presidency was as groundbreaking as it was controversial. When he took the oath of office on January 20th, 2017, he did so as the first U.S. president without prior political or military experience. His victory against Hillary Clinton, a seasoned politician, was seen as a rejection of the political establishment and a triumph of outsider politics. From the very beginning, Trump's administration was marked by bold decisions and a relentless pace. His executive orders in the early days included withdrawing from the Trans-Pacific Partnership and initiating the construction of a wall along the southern border, both promises he had made during his campaign. These actions signaled that he intended to deliver on his pledge to make America great again. The Trump presidency was defined by its approach to governance, media, and public discourse. Trump's use of Twitter as a direct communication tool bypassed traditional media channel, allowing him to speak directly to the American people. This strategy kept him in the headlines and maintained his connection with his base, but it also sparked numerous controversies. One of the most significant aspects of Trump's presidency was his focus on the economy. Under his leadership, the U.S. experienced record low unemployment rates, particularly among minority groups, and significant stock market growth. His tax reform bill, passed in 2017, was one of the most substantial overhauls of the tax system in decades. Critics argued it favored the wealthy, but supporters pointed to its positive impact on businesses and job creation. Foreign policy was another cornerstone of Trump's presidency. He adopted an America First approach, renegotiating trade deals like NAFTA, replaced with the USMCA, and taking a tough stance on China. His meetings with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un were unprecedented, though they yielded mixed results. Meanwhile, his decision to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement and the Iran nuclear deal drew both praise and condemnation. Impeachment loomed large over Trump's presidency. In 2019, the House of Representatives impeached him over allegations related to his dealings with Ukraine, but he was acquitted by the Senate. This marked a pivotal moment, showcasing the deep political divisions within the country. Donald Trump's time in office may have ended on January 20th, 2021, but his influence on American politics and culture remains profound. The aftermath of the 2020 election which Trump claimed was stolen due to voter fraud, sparked unprecedented turmoil. The events of January 6, 2021, when a mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, marked one of the darkest days in modern American history. Trump's role in inciting the events was heavily scrutinized, leading to his second impeachment, a historic first for any U.S. president. Despite his loss, Trump continued to wield significant power within the Republican Party. His endorsement became a coveted prize for candidates in the 2022 midterm elections, and his rallies continued to draw thousands. He remained a polarizing figure, loved by his base and reviled by his detractors. Post-presidency, Trump returned to his business ventures, launching a social media platform, Truth Social, and exploring opportunities in entertainment and publishing. His Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida became his unofficial headquarters, hosting political meetings and serving as a backdrop for his ongoing influence in conservative circles. Trump's legacy is a complex tapestry. To his supporters, he is a transformative figure who challenged the status quo, revitalized the economy, and championed American sovereignty. To his critics, he is a divisive leader whose rhetoric and policies exacerbated social and political tensions. Stay tuned for the second part of the story, focusing on Donald Trump's journey after his 2020 election loss, his legal battles, and his remarkable re-election in November 2024 as the President of the United States for a second term. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel to receive notifications as soon as the next episode is uploaded.